Hey guys, this is Lawton, and this is DrowsyMedia's Top 10 Video Game Deaths. We've based our choices around the effect the deaths had on us as players, and the emotional attachment we may have had to the characters. If you have any opinions on our list, or things you think we should have done different, please put them in the comments below. Here we go.
Our 10th death on the list is Henry Tomasino from Mafia 2. This death is in the list due to the brutal nature of his killing. Following Vito and Joe along to meet Henry, we are faced with a man being beaten down by the Triad. As we can hear his screams of terror and fear, the man is revealed to be Henry, and the weapons being used were meat cleavers. A truly painful and torturous way to die. It is cringeworthy to watch, and we are given the perspective of Henry dying as we take on him in first person, watching his vision fade and the screams of anger from Vito and Joe blur out. But at least we got to shoot the arseholes which did it to him.
Number 9. Throughout the Assassin's Creed storyline, we all had the basic idea that it would result in Lucy and Desmond on top, together, perhaps even in a more physical way, if you know what I mean. But no, when Desmond touches the Apple of Eden in Brotherhood, his body is taken under the control of Juno, a member of the First Civilization. Due to their knowledge of Lucy's true allegiance, we were faced with a lengthy segment in which Desmond, blade drawn, walks ever closer to Lucy. Watching Desmond attempt to resist, but then coming face to face with Lucy, we are forced to reluctantly press a button and end the struggle, and Lucy at the same time. This death is especially emotional because, as we knew, Desmond and Lucy were a love interest, and you feel as if Desmond should be rewarded for his efforts. But no, he is greeted only with the pain and sorrow of knowing he alone ended Lucy's life.
Cortana is in at 8th. An important aspect of the Halo franchise, Cortana is the depth and backstory to each game, as she analyses everything around us and feeds us the information that we need to know. Cortana and Chief's relationship goes back prior to the fall of Reach, and so once they were reunited on the Pillar of Autumn, they stayed together throughout the events of Halo Combat Evolved 2, 3, and 4 years, 7 months, and 10 days of Chief's cryogenic slumber. It is when Cortana begins to experience rampancy that we begin to see the more human side of Chief, rather than just a cold suit of armour, and so begins our mission to save her. We ultimately fail in doing so, and thus begins the final goodbye between Chief and Cortana, a very emotional scene in which Cortana tries to console Chief, and as she fades away we literally see Chief's world come crashing down around him, and so is the end of a much loved character who had graced our screens for a decade.
Possibly the most loved villain in all of comic book, film and video game history, the Joker is in at number 7. Throughout any kind of Batman story, the idea that Batman and the Joker are like yin and yang, there cannot be one without the other, as it is often portrayed, which is why it is sad for all of the Batman fans to see that Batman's arch-rival finally bit the dust. With the Joker dying of a Titan disease and the cure in Batman's hands, players are left wondering how Batman will act. Ultimately, the decision is made for him when the Joker idiotically stabs Batman, causing him to drop the cure and for it to smash. This is when we would find out that Batman's true intentions, when he reveals that, funnily enough, despite all the Joker's done, he would have still saved him. Ironically, the Joker agrees that it was pretty funny, and he passes away laughing, with funny being his last words.
In at number 6 is Soap McTavish, a character we know all too well, as he is the protagonist throughout the entire Modern Warfare series. Throughout all 3 games, Soap remained our main man, as we watched him develop as a soldier, and also develop his friendship with Captain Price. Through the Modern Warfares 2 and 3, we step away from Soap and take control of other characters such as Roach and Yuri. But Soap is always there and it allows us to get to know Soap on another level, as his own person, rather than the mindless guy who does everything we tell him to. So then it comes as a big shock during the mission Blood Brothers in Modern Warfare 3 that Soap doesn't manage to survive from a wound taken on the battlefield, saving Yuri's life. Even after we work so hard to get him to a safe house, he isn't really able to receive the treatment he needs. As a result of this, we see how strong the relationship between Price and Soap really is, as Price breaks down over the passing of an old friend and trusted ally. Perhaps this death was made even more shocking because we as players were given the idea that Soap couldn't die, because he had already cheated death before during the series.
At 5 is the kick-ass cowboy from the Old West, John Marston. An ex-member of Dutch's gang, Marston turned to the side of the law when his family was captured by Edgar Ross in order to gain Marston's services in taking down the very gang members he used to associate with. As we spend our time controlling our gunslinger, we grow an attachment to him and his pure awesomeness. Which is why we feel deeply betrayed when John is double-crossed by the very arseholes we've been working with. After having John's family return to us, Edgar Tosspot decides there's one more outlaw he wants to take down, John. We watch our main man take a final stand of bravery as he sacrifices himself to save his family, taking down as many of the bastards as he can before being gunned down by a ton of shots. It's just a symbol of his badassery as he stays standing regardless of being full of lead. Possibly the biggest fuck you from the game, however, is that we were given a grown-up version of his son, Jack, as a replacement, who is without a doubt a shadow of his father's greatness. At number 4 is Spartan B312, or as he was known during his final operation, Noble 6. A lone wolf with one of the highest skill sets of any Spartan, 6 joined the Noble team to aid them in protecting Reach from the Covenant forces. At the end of the story, after the passing of the whole of Noble team, excluding June, Noble 6 is left on Reach as the Covenant invade. No escape route and one objective: survive. To survive in this situation was an impossible task, and so it left the players to attempt to hold off waves of Covenant before being ended. This ultimately leaves us watching in third person as 6 valiantly fights off multiple enemies before being finished by a group of zealots. The reason this is such a big deal is that Noble 6 takes on a form of our own personally customised armour, and so as 6 dies, so too does a little part of us.
Don't trust Shepard! I repeat, don't trust Shepard! These are the last words you hear as Roach in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. We take control of Roach, who alongside Ghost became the main protagonist in the game. In the mission Loose Ends, we infiltrate Makarov's house and steal a boatload of intelligence on the DSM. On a rough trip back, an injured Roach is helped towards the evac chopper by Ghost, and it's not until the end we find out what an absolute ringhead General Shepard is. Inches away from the chopper and a well-deserved escape, Shepard takes the DSM from us and shoots us down. The last we see is our bodies being bathed in petrol, as we can hear Captain Price's screams through our earpiece, warning us not to trust Shepard. But it was too late. This is especially saddening because not only are you moments away from safety, you are struck down by betrayal. The worry in Price's voice brings together a powerful scene, which is ended by looking into the eyes of evil. As Shepard's cigar flies through the air, you have but moments to remember what you have accomplished as Roach. As the cigar lands, you are engulfed in flames, leaving you wanting only one thing: revenge.
Our number 2 on the list is Sarah from The Last of Us. Now, we don't know much about Sarah, but her death sets the tone for the story and the main principle for Sarah's existence is to give us an idea of what the main character, her father Joel, is like. We understand that he is loving and caring, and a father who puts himself on the line for those he loves. He comes so close to saving her, but unfortunately, they came across a soldier who, after being ordered to do so reluctantly, guns them down. While Joel can rely on her, Sarah had taken a shot to the abdomen, and thus begins a heartbreaking scene, in which Joel pleads for his daughter to hold on, and Sarah not being able to. This scene alone being the reason for this position of the event is within the first 15 minutes of the game, which had some gamers in tears.
At number 1 is Dominic Santiago, one of the main characters from the Gears of War series. A playable character, Dom was a character of choice to many Gears players over the series, and therefore was part of a special bond for many fans of the game. So it's understandable that their emotions would rise for some when Dom loses his life. The reason this is our top video game death is not just the emotional attachment he has, but the storytelling behind it. The way the story plays out, the player's perception of Dom alters over time. When it seems that Dom was running away, some were thinking he was a traitor, and then when he turned around and we realised what he was actually doing, we kind of wish he did run away. The power of the situation was presented perfectly. Whether it's Marcus's screaming of anticipation, Dom yelling to his late wife, or Michael Andrews' moving piano work alongside. That's all for now, guys. Thank you for watching. This has been Norton from DrowsyMedia, along with Liam and Martin, like I said at the beginning. If you have any opinions or anything you think we should have done differently, stick it in the comments below. Thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe for some more. Bye.